Where snow cones are more valuable than gold. Here's Brendan Parnell, a talk of Brennan at Narromine.
Thanks for that, Nick. That's a look at the horses. The jockeys are just about to mount up for the Registered Clubs Association Club Keno Cup. It pans under the cover. We've been under all day, a couple of lights there, and the jockeys mounting up. Huey Bowman rides Jazz Prizier, the top weight, and that's a look at the scene. As far as betting updates go on the last, $2.90 the top weight is on TAB New South Wales. It is the tote favourite and a firm favourite in the betting ring, $2.90. Better value for Super Tab punters at $3.40. Firm in betting, it's stayed that way in the betting ring. Like a Squire for Mal Fitzgerald, the Dunny-Doo boy who would love to ride a winner at Narromine. He rode a Gold Cup winner in one of his first ever race rides. He rode a treble here, his first ever treble. Fashion Flair by Luskin Star, Brian Carter in the saddle, $5.20. It has firmed in with bookmakers. Le Prospect at $7.20. Shining Call 15, $7.80 for Claraine, placed in a Dubbo Cup early November. Comanche Land, we've got some support for it, $9.40. A check over Pensionary, $11. That's what I'll be looking for later on. Pleasant Conquest, 53. Longer odds, Stormy Red and Wolf Ruler. Well, with 3 minutes of betting time, one of the more interesting characters of the betting ring here at Narromine is bookmaker David Baxter, who also runs Macquarie Stud at Wellington. And David, I suppose you wear a few different caps in this game called racing, but you have great fun doing it.
Yeah, very much so, Brendan. You know, I enjoy the country races. I don't mind saying I'd probably go to the country races before the city most times, you know.
Well, before we get on to talking a bit about the stud, you're going to give us a leg up for a winner. The punters are all listening in before they fill out their tickets.
Yeah, well, in this last race, there's no doubt the top weight horse has got a great chance, but he's no value for me. I couldn't possibly take 6-4 about him. The other couple of horses in the betting, Fashion Flair, starting to get out to something like its right price, and Le Prospect, you know, 4 or 5 to 1 it. But I finished up having a bet in the last myself. I've had something on Comanche Land. I think it's the right odds.
Well, it's showing exceptional value at this stage on the tote, around $10.50. So have you stayed with the bookies, kept your money there, or have you had a bet with the tote?
Yeah, it was 10 or 12 to 1 in the ring just before I left, so I had something on it there.
Now, we've given the punters a leg up there. How about on the breeding sides of things? You've got Covetous at your stud, Wajib, a tremendously successful sire who's come down from the Northern Hemisphere. He goes back to Japan in the new year?
Yes, he goes back to Japan in about 3 weeks' time. He's just actually starting to get the quarantine and business organised. We've had a good year with him. He's covered his mares well, got them in file, and we weighed him the other day, and he's 70 or 80 kilos heavier than when he arrived. So, you know, after doing a heavy, hot season, he's done very well.
It must be the good tucker out Wellington way. Tell us about the great success of the Baxter family. You've really raced some top race horses. Flitter, I suppose, comes to mind as one of the best the family's raced.
Oh, certainly so. You know, she won two Group 1 races, which, you know, is pretty difficult to do. But there's been some damn good horses over the years. Magic Gleam was a great favourite. You know, he ran 120 times and very rarely didn't earn a check. We raced a very good filly some years ago, Schenkel Lass. She's also a Group 1 winner. There's been a lot of good horses.
You've got the visitors down from Shadow Farm in Japan this weekend to come out to check out Wajib and have a look around?
Yeah, they'll be at home early Sunday morning. They're getting in from Japan early Sunday morning, flying straight up in a little plane, and look forward to it. They visit the farm 2 or 3 times a year, and they're good people.
So back to this, number 8, Comanche Land is your suggestion, David's best bet in the last.
That'll do.
Okay, David, nice to catch up and good luck with the breeding season. I suppose the sale season is next for you.
Yeah, it sure is. We're looking forward to it. Between now and Easter, it keeps us hopping.
Excellent. Thanks, David.
Thanks a lot.
David Baxter there from Macquarie Stud at Wellington does a wonderful job. Stands Covetous, the sire of St Covert, also Wajib, a very talented Northern Hemisphere shuttle sire. The betting market now, they've just headed around. They may run a minute or two late here, a little bit late leaving the enclosure. $2.40 for Jazz Prizier, $5.50 for Fashion Flair, beautifully related by a slipper winner, Luskin Star out of a mare called Dame Fashion from the family of the infamous Bold Personality. $6.80 for Le Prospect, $9.80 for Claraine, placed in the Dubbo Cup. Comanche Land, you heard David suggest he's had a bet on it. He's the local bookmaker. He will have a very good idea. Pensionary at $13. Well, Nick, it's been a warm day out here at Narromine. You might have seen me earlier get into a few snow cones. I think we'll be enjoying a couple of quiet ales at the local services club tonight at Narromine. So we'll have a great night, and thanks for your support today. Right Video doing a wonderful job as always, giving you those great pictures in which you can follow home your winners. I'm Brendan Parnell. Thanks very much for joining us for Narromine. Hilton will be along to call the last shortly. In the meantime, it's back to the studio.
Thank you very much, Brendan Parnell, and all the team there at Narromine for what was an exciting day of racing. And thanks, Brendan, for the coverage live trackside there. And good luck if you're punting in the last race. They are arriving at the gates. Hilton to join us in a moment. $2.30 for Jazz Prizier, 21 Like a Squire, $5.60 Fashion Flair, Le Prospect $6.80, 18 for Shining Gal, $9.90 for number 7, Clarain. Comanche Land at $10. It opened at $9.80. 14, Pensionary. Pleasant Conquest, 65. Stormy Red, 38. Wolf Ruler at 87 for the 9th at Narromine. A short break and then we'll take it to Hilton for the call of the final event at Narromine in New South Wales. Narromine Race 9, the Registered Clubs Association Keno Cup over 1,300 metres. It's been a good day of racing at Narromine this afternoon, so we'll take it to Hilton in just a moment for the call of the 9th event. $2.40 for number 1, Jazz Pritzia, and $5.80 for Fashion Flair. Le Prospect at $6 and $8.20 for number 8, Comanche Land. The first one about to move in. Now, Wangaratta Race 8 is yet to come, and it's the harness there, 2 minutes away. 7.50 Christie's Gold, Internet 22, Harper 11, Detroit Dan 5.30, Blake Castle 3.40, Shaw Smart 36, Jack Anonymous 26, Grand Sapphire 61, Sammy at 3.10. $30 for number 11 Lone Machine for race 8 at Wangaratta, due in 2 minutes. They're moving in for the feature race of the day at Narromine, race 9, the RCA Keno Cup over 1,300. Let's take you to Hilton, who's done a marvellous job under very warm conditions at Narromine today. Up the tower, he's Hilt.
Righto, Nick, they move in well for the last. All pink colours on Pleasant Conquest. And the stablemates here, Le Prospect, Comanche Land. Le Prospect has a red cap. Comanche Land has a pink cap. Now, Shining Gal about to move in. He's a gelding, but he's by Galleon. So he's a Shining Gal. Coming up, Clarain. Clarain goes in. Followed along by Shining Gal. Here's Stormy Red. There's only 3 out for the last. We wait for Wolf Ruler and Le Prospect, which has drawn the widest barrier. Le Prospect in a red cap, a pink cap on Comanche Land. All pink colours on Pleasant Conquest. Now Wolf Ruler goes in. And the last couple get set. Wolf Ruler is in. Coming up to line, Le Prospect. And they're nearly ready for a start. Le Prospect goes to barrier 11. This is the Registered Clubs Association Club Keno Cup over 1,300 metres. Started in a short shoot in the back straight. Nice long run to the first turn. Set to go. Stand by, race 9 at Narromine. Stalls rocking. Starter lets them go. They're off in the RCA Club Keno Cup. Out the back went Pleasant Conquest with no speed, and first away Fashion Flair. Goes straight to the lead from Jazz Pritzia. Wolf Ruler showing speed out wide with Le Prospect. The stablemate Comanche Land is making ground but racing most ungenerously, getting the head right up in the air. Being passed by Stormy Red around the outside. It's coming into the race strongly. Then came Clarain, followed well back in the field by Pensionary. Then came third last Shining Gal. Second last is Pleasant Conquest. And Like a Squire is last of all. On the side they race 700 metres before them. It's Fashion Flair by 3/4 of a length on Le Prospect, who's worked hard. Jazz Pritzia in third place, followed by Wolf Ruler. Next in the field came Comanche Land, who's still racing most ungenerously. Stormy Red around the outside, followed by Clarain. Pensionary hard ridden as they come to the 400 metre mark, and the rest headed by Shining Gal. Like a Squire's tailing out. 300 metres to go on the turn. It's Fashion Flair, the leader, inclined to roll away from the fence, but still a length clear. Jazz Pritzia now comes to the outside. It's a battle of the kids here in the last at the moment. On the inside, Fashion Flair. Carter wielding the Persuader. Jazz Pritzia and Hugh Bowman on the outside, trying hard for third, Clarain, but Jazz Pritzia goes to the lead, and Jazz Pritzia wins the last. Jazz Pritzia wins the cup by 2 lengths. Second, Fashion Flair, Clarain third. Close up behind them, Pensionary, Stormy Red, followed in by Comanche Land. Then came Shining Gal, followed home by Le Prospect.
1, 4 and 7 there. Jazz Pritzia wins the cup as we take it to Wang race 8.
15 metres up.
Narromine. And Jazz Pritzia, the winner. As we take you back to Hilton as the jockey dismounts off board the top weight.
It's a good shot, isn't it, Nick? Hugh Bowman endeavouring to get the girth strap undone here, but he's having a bit of trouble at the moment. He can't release the girth strap here from Jazz Pritzia. Pretty big barrel on this horse, and it's he's got fast legs as well. That's his 10th win from 24 starts. And it's Hugh Bowman, the winning rider. He's listed in your guides as J. Bowman, but he does like the name Hugh. So that's good with us too. A beautiful ride in the last. Second, 4, Fashion Flair, Brian Carter for Mark Jones. It was a Mark Jones Quinella in the last. Terrific effort. And third placing to 7 Clarraine, battling on well out wide in the orange cap with the white sleeves. Tracy Bartley for Tim Miller. The totes are $2.40, $1.60, $1.80 and $2.50. Quinella paid $5.40, $5.40 for the Quinella. Exacta $9.60. The trifecta $55.20. And the daily double $42.90 on 4 and 1. A convincing victory in the last event to Jazz Pritzia. There's Hugh Bowman. No doubt you'll be seeing and hearing more of Hugh in the future. Very promising rider indeed. The wraps are big in this area for both Hugh and Brian Carter. Nick, and good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Hilton. Good afternoon to you. A marvellous day of racing there at Narromine in New South Wales. Congratulations to all concerned there. Now, correct weight has been signified on the final event from Narromine. 2.5 by 3/4 were the margins, and 1:16.6 the time recorded on that final event. Righto, now let's have a look at race 7 at the Gold Coast. Number 1.